going on, everybody? Welcome to the J.Meaney review. I'm J.Meaney, and today I'm talking about Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman. Before we get started, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. Okay, so this is not a done deal. It was reported that it's in the early stages still, and that really it could go either way. But some pages
took it and fucking ran with it.
Michael Keaton returns as Batman.
The report says that if negotiations do go through, that he'll play a kind of Nick Fury role in the DCEU.
Or whatever they call it.
And that he'll also possibly feature in other DCEU films. I really don't believe this is the case. There's so much going on in the DCEU right now, and having Michael Keaton come back and play such a pivotal role like that, fast-tracking the Justice League like with a new team, is not the right decision to do right now. With that being said, this is still crazy. I honestly didn't think this was ever going to happen. Yeah, Michael Keaton has remained enthusiastic about portraying Batman in his early on career, but with Michael Keaton's age and where the DCEU is trying to go right now, I just didn't think the two lined up.
And I still don't think that it really perfectly lines up, but
some people would say, you know, they're doing the Flashpoint movie, it's going to be a multiverse movie, that opens up a lot of doors, and the possibilities are really endless. But that Flash movie has been a mess for years now. Like, I've been left wondering if this movie is even gonna happen. Multiple directors have left that movie. I believe it was rewritten twice. The future of DC is really just uncertain at this moment. They might know what they're doing, but they haven't let the fans really know what they're doing. There's a new Batman movie coming out that's going to be separate from the DCEU. Aquaman and Wonder Woman had great success, and they're continuing with those solo movies, but the overall plan for what they're going to do with the Justice League remains to be unseen. Cyborg was canceled. Flashpoint keeps falling back down and getting new directors. Like, none of this seems like something that Michael Keaton would want to do at this point in his career. Be involved with this kind of mess that they got going on. With that being said, I highly doubt that he's going to play a huge role in the DCEU going forward. Maybe a huge role in that Flashpoint movie, but multiple movies and be like the Nick Fury of the DCEU, I really don't think that's going to happen. And if he was going to be a huge part of the DCEU going forward, they wouldn't be in early talks about it right now. Jeff Johns already knows what he wants to do with the DCEU going forward. I keep calling it DCEU.
And I remember they came out and that's not even the official name, but I'm going to keep calling it that throughout this video. Enjoy.
This would have been planned a long time ago if he was going to be like the centerfold of this whole DCU operation that they got going on right now. He could very well play a Nick Fury type role in the Flashpoint movie. That'd be cool, but even a cameo in that movie would be really cool for me to see. I just don't think that his role is going to be huge like a lot of these pages are speculating. I don't think Michael Keaton wants to be involved with that. But
what the fuck do I know, right?
But even just a small cameo is going to be amazing to see. To see an old Bruce Wayne and think that's the Batman from Batman and Batman Returns. From Tim Burton's vision of Batman.
That's that Batman.
I mean, Michael Keaton was my Batman all the way up until Christian Bale. I love those first two films. I really do. Certainly wouldn't even be remotely excited if they announced that, like, George Clooney or Val Kilmer were making an appearance. I'd be like, although it would be really funny if they had a scene where Flash is going through the multiverse and he sees George Clooney's Batman and sees the bat nipples on the suit and makes a joke. That'd be really funny. But that's the difference. That'd be really funny. Having Michael Keaton come back is bomb.
It's fire.
Let's say the speculation is true, right? And that Michael Keaton will play older Batman, he'll play the Nick Fury role, and he'll be assembling the new team of the Justice League, yada yada.
That to me sounds like a hot mess.
Jeff Johns has been very vocal about his plans to focus on solo movies, which is going great. Wonder Woman did great. Aquaman, I didn't really like Aquaman, but it did great. Joker, absolutely loved Joker, did great. Shazam,
I love Shazam. Did great.
And I really think that this new Batman movie is going to be great. The focus on solo movies seems to be the right direction for them. They've already learned early on that rushing to do these team-up movies or just throwing together these team-up movies doesn't work. Not everyone can do what Kevin Feige was able to do with the MCU. It is a very hard thing to pull off.
And that's fine.
If more focus on solo movies is what it takes to get really good content from DC using the DC characters, I'm all in. Michael Keaton being like the Nick Fury and being in multiple movies and putting together a team that just sounds like a hot mess and something that I personally just don't really want to see. I want him back for a movie, yeah, okay, but not to that extent. I mean, I would have loved to see him do a Batman Beyond movie, probably in the minority for people who want that, but if they made that announcement, I would lose my mind. But for now, what they currently got going on, and they got the new Batman with Robert Pattinson coming out, and we already got to get over Ben Affleck as Batman after only seeing him in like 2 movies. Now's just not the time for that on the big screen. And I'm not saying doing the multiverse is a bad idea. Like, you can have the Batman going on its own. You had your solo Joker movie. You can continue with Aquaman and Wonder Woman in that universe, continue with their solo movies. Like, that's totally fine. But when you have like 3 to 4 different Batmans on the big screen at the same time, and you start piling in all these characters and trying to remember which universe each one is from and which movies are connected, it's going to begin to get very confusing. HBO would be a great platform for something like Batman Beyond, if they wanted to do that in the next few years. Have their streaming shows for DC and then have their movies and keep them separate, you know? Like, if they wanted to do Batman Beyond even right now and have Michael Keaton come back and they put it on HBO Max, that would be fine. That would be less confusing than having 4 Batman on the big screen at the same time. But I think this is great news. It's great for fans, old and young. I'm really curious to see how it unfolds, what the deal ends up being. I mean, if he does end up being a Nick Fury type role, how big his role will be in Flashpoint, what this means, like, really where DC is going. They still haven't really told us where they're going. They told us the focus is on solo movies, but we don't know what is going to happen, especially after the Snyder Cut comes out on HBO Max, you know? What if that ends up being really, really good and the fans really react well to that? What do they do with Justice League going forward? But the reports have been saying that the Flash movie was back in motion, and then them even in early talks to someone like Michael Keaton about coming back and playing Batman shows me that they're very confident in what they have for the Flash movie right now, and it looks good for the Flash movie.
Right now.
The Flash is supposed to take kind of a darker route. They got the director, can't remember his name, but he...
I say that in every video. I always can't remember somebody's fucking name.
But the director from It, in It Chapter 2, they got him on to direct the Flash movie.
Hands are all over the place.
DC has already proven to us that they can make great content, and I really want to see what the future holds for DC. It's not Marvel versus DC for me. That's not how it is. I want to see good comic book films. Nothing is impossible when it comes to Hollywood, man. Like, Sony and the MCU made a deal to bring Spider-Man into the MCU and actually use him. We got Michael Keaton coming back to reprise his role as Batman.
Hopefully, early talks, right?
But if that goes through,
Like,
I'm still holding out hope for Tobey Maguire to reprise his role as Spider-Man or Peter Parker in a film. And I think we might get that. I really do. I feel like we're going to get something like that. But yeah, guys, that's what I think about Michael Keaton coming back and reprising his role as Batman. The legendary role Michael Keaton played as Batman. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about him joining the DCEU. Do you want to see him play a Nick Fury type role in the DC movies? Does this excite you at all? Do you want to see him do maybe a Batman Beyond movie? Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to catch me on the Power Button podcast. Link will be at the end of the video. And yeah, till next time, guys.